Undertaker, let me take you for a spin.
Hello, my name is Grant. I'm from County Funerals, and we post videos about the funeral service industry. And this week I'd like to talk to you about how the UK is coping with the pandemic deaths of COVID-19. But before we get into it, I'd like to assure you that the government has had plans in place to deal with pandemic deaths for as long as I can remember. Since bird flu, swine flu, foot and mouth, and every time something like that happens, the plans to deal with the pandemic deaths are revisited, updated, and made sure they're all still relevant and in place. So no one's been caught on the back foot, and no one's been caught, unaware of what's going on. So we get straight into it. If your loved one passes away of COVID-19 or anything else for that matter, they're either going to be in hospital, at home, or in a nursing home. And what we're finding is lots of the hospital mortuaries are overrun. So that means there are more people passing away in the hospital than the mortuary has space for. In this circumstances, hospitals are having temporary mortuaries. So temporary mortuaries could be a room in a hospital where another mortuary facility has been installed so everyone can be kept nice, or it might be a mortuary facility has been brought in from outside. So they have like refrigerated containers and refrigerated lorries with the mortuary kitted out inside them. So everyone is kept at a nice temperature and how they should be, with respect and dignity. So there's no one lying on any floors or lying in the streets or in corridors. All the dead are looked after to the best as anyone's abilities with the NHS. Now sometimes these additional facilities can still get overrun, especially in London and more densely populated areas. What happens here is there has been government-run mass mortuaries put in place. So therefore the deceased will be taken from the hospital to the government mortuary. Now these are in places like military camps, or they've been put into government-run buildings. And there they have people looking after the deceased in a temperature-controlled environment and again treated with respect and dignity. And these government-run mass mortuaries are being run by volunteers, they're being run by local government service people, and they're being run by the police, and they're all doing a fantastic job. Now, when a deceased passes away in hospital, more often than not, they'll be placed inside a body bag. That body bag will have an ID number on it, and that body bag will have the person's name on it, and all the person's jewellery or belongings will be put inside the body bag. And then when that person may have to go to a government-run mortuary, the body bag with the ID and all the possessions are checked, and then they're checked into the mass mortuary as well. And then when we, the funeral directors, need to retrieve that person, bring them into our care, again, we check the ID and we check the paper trail from where the person passed away, how they got there, so that we can make sure that the person inside that body bag is indeed the person we need. So no one can get lost, no one can get forgotten, and no one can get misplaced. Now, this is a very, very good system. Everyone seems to be working, and so far it's not been overrun, and I can't see any reason why it would be as well. If someone passes away at home or in a nursing home, then the funeral director will get called out to collect the deceased and bring them into their care. Now, funeral directors as well only have a certain amount of mortuary facilities and a certain amount of space to physically keep people. So what you'll find in funeral directors are doing is they are ordering coffins, and they're getting people placed inside their coffins as quickly as they can, and then they'll have large refrigerated rooms where the coffins will be kept. And that is the way the funeral directors are generally working their way through and making sure they can accommodate anyone. Because the last thing we want to do is turn someone away because we physically haven't got space for them. Lots of other funeral directors as well have been helping people out. So you might find another funeral director that has some space in one of their mortuaries will let another funeral director use them, or you might find shops being closed down and turned into mortuaries for multiple funeral directors to use. And there's lots of people coming in and helping each other out within the funeral industry. And then obviously the funerals have been commencing. Now, to work through the excess of death, funerals have been shortened to the minimum that's needed. So lots of crematoriums have shortened their service time down from an hour to 30 minutes. Lots of people have been deciding to go with direct cremations. There's been no church services, and there's only been graveside services. And then the number of people attending funerals have been cut right back to sort of 10 10 to 8 people. And this is all in an effort to make sure that no one becomes overrun, not the funeral directors, not the NHS, and not the crematoriums or burial grounds themselves. I hope this was an informative video. If you've got any questions, let me know, and stay safe. Remember to tell the people you love that you love them, and we'll see you all again soon.
Well, I'm your friendly undertaker. Let me take you for a spin. Yeah, I'm your friendly undertaker. Let me take you for a spin.